Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are tackling a massive, nearly universal frustration. Have you ever wondered why getting a raise almost never actually cures your financial stress? It's a paradox that drives pretty much all of us crazy. So today, we're going to explore the psychological reasons why your salary, no matter what it is, never quite seems to feel like enough.
So let's start with a really familiar scenario. Why do you still feel broke? Okay, picture this. You finally get that raise you've been working so incredibly hard for. And for a few days, life feels totally different. You check your bank account, you feel safer, smarter, and definitely more successful. But then, a few months go by and somehow you feel broke again. It's the exact same stress, the exact same anxiety, the exact same creeping feeling that your money is just disappearing way too fast. What actually happened?
Here is where things get really fascinating. People making $40,000 a year often feel completely broke. But surprisingly, people making $140,000 often feel exactly the same way. I mean, how is that even possible? The math doesn't seem to make any sense at all. Well, the crucial point here is that the problem usually isn't just the math of your income. It is actually human psychology.
All right, let's jump into part one, the salary illusion. The problem isn't income, it's psychology.
Most of us walk around believing this really simple, compelling illusion. If I just made more money, everything would finally feel okay. But let's look at what actually happens after a raise. Day one, you feel safer. By month one, you start buying slightly nicer things. By month three, those nicer things just feel completely normal to you. And by month six, you're right back to feeling broke again. Human beings adapt incredibly fast. Every single raise creates new expenses, new expectations, and new comparisons. A raise often just creates temporary happiness, not permanent satisfaction.
Which brings us to part two, the hedonic treadmill, the cycle of endless upgrades.
This is the core psychological framework that explains our rapid adaptation. And without even realizing it, we step right onto this invisible machine. The hedonic treadmill is a cycle where your lifestyle improves, but your overall satisfaction barely changes. I really want you to think about that. You are running, you're working harder, you're earning more, and your lifestyle is absolutely getting better, but your internal happiness and satisfaction levels stay exactly the same. You're running on a treadmill, but emotionally you are staying in the exact same place. Every raise just leads to new expectations.
And the engine powering that treadmill is what psychologists call hedonic adaptation. Basically, this means your brain is constantly resetting its definition of enough. You know that thing you once dreamed about? The bigger apartment, the upgraded phone? Your brain turns it into normal surprisingly quickly. At first, they feel super exciting, but eventually they stop feeling like luxuries altogether. That upgraded phone you absolutely had to have, it just becomes the normal device you use to doomscroll. And once that happens, your old salary suddenly feels far too small again.
Let's move to part three, the invisible lifestyle trap, how the raise disappears.
It's really crucial to understand that most lifestyle inflation doesn't happen dramatically in huge leaps. You don't usually go out and buy a private jet. Instead, it happens very, very quietly. A slightly nicer apartment, a car payment instead of taking public transit, a little more eating out and ordering on delivery apps, slightly better clothes, a few more monthly convenience subscriptions. None of these decisions feel massive individually, but together, they quietly consume every single dollar your raise created.
And here is the real danger. People become trapped at a higher financial level before emotionally adjusting to their new income. The craziest part is that instead of feeling freer with more money, people upgrade their lives far too fast. You end up locking yourself into this brand new, expensive baseline, making it almost impossible to step off that treadmill.
Next up, part four, comparison and identity, the emotional weight of money.
So why do we do it? Let's peel back the layer of environmental and emotional triggers that force us to keep upgrading. A few decades ago, people compared themselves mostly to their neighbors, right? It was a local, manageable comparison. But now, we compare ourselves to the entire internet. Social media basically destroyed the concept of enough. Every single day you see someone your age traveling in Europe, buying luxury apartments, building online businesses, or driving expensive cars. Or at least that's what it looks like. Social media permanently raises the standard of what feels normal. Your brain absorbs that constantly, so your expectations actually rise even faster than your income.
And because of this constant comparison, money takes on a totally new meaning. We start attaching our self-worth to our salary, our job titles, our neighborhoods, our brands, and our overall lifestyle. At a certain point, income completely stops being about survival. It becomes our identity.
And once that happens, every single financial decision becomes a highly emotional quest for status, for validation, or just for comfort. There's a realization that perfectly captures this. They're spending money to calm their own insecurity. Sometimes people aren't even spending money to impress others. They are spending it to prove to themselves that they are successful. This stark realization really explains why a higher income doesn't automatically bring peace. Because with a higher income, the emotional pressure to maintain that identity rises too.
Finally, Part 5, Redefining Enough, Escaping the Endless Cycle.
So how do we actually fix this? Well, if we want to break free from the hedonic treadmill, we have to totally change the way we look at our own expectations. Most people just think, I need more money. But the deeper problem is, my definition of enough keeps moving. If enough is a constantly moving target, no salary in the world will ever feel safe. Now, let's be objective here. Money absolutely matters, and basic financial stress is very, very real. But beyond basic survival, our psychology starts controlling our experience much, much more than our actual income. The solution requires learning a profound difference. Improving your life provides intentional value, while inflating your lifestyle just creates endless obligations. The people who feel financially calm aren't always the ones making the most money. Often, they're the ones who manage to escape the endless upgrade cycle. They're the ones who completely stop turning every single raise into a brand new financial obligation.
Because look, if your expectations grow faster than your income, you are going to spend your entire life chasing a finish line that literally never stops moving. And that is exactly why your salary never feels like enough. So I want to leave you with a provocative question to really think about. What's one expense that quietly became a necessity in your own life? Think about your own invisible lifestyle creep. Identify it, reflect on it, and you've taken the very first step off the treadmill. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Stay focused and keep learning.